Hey guys, welcome back to the Intersect podcast where we're trying to change your outlook on mental health with laid back comedy and conversation. This episode is Christmas themed because it's December.
Now, on this episode, we speak with Erin about troubles of miscarriage, postpartum, and terrifying personal experiences after birth, resulting in 2 to 3 weeks of hospitalisation and emergency surgeries. We are very lucky that Erin is willing to talk openly to shed some light on such a horrifying ordeal. Because of the topics discussed, we do advise to the audience there is a trigger warning on these sensitive issues. Now, hope you guys enjoy the episode.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome back to the Intersect podcast, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's the 2nd of December. And as you can see, a little bit
Oh, your hat.
little bit of Christmas stuff going on. We fucking love it. We've got an absolute queen in the house, as you can see. My girl, Erin. Yes, we have a very, very special guest, Erin, the absolute queen over here.
Talk me up.
Yeah. So I would like to just start off with introducing yourself.
Yep. I'm Erin. I feel like I'm in high school. I'm 30 years old.
Yes.
I'm a mum. I used to be a business owner. I'm not anymore. And yeah, that's
So
about it.
we live off hubby's card.
We live off hubby's card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
gold punani. Gold
Gold punani.
No, I've earned that shit. We've been together for 15 years, so
Yes.
Oh shit.
yeah.
He's got a cute booty. I saw that video the other day of him running around the backyard.
Does that shit on the daily. I saved it. I'll have to show you.
I said it's like a dog doing zoomies.
That's what it's like. And Teddy's the same, so
I love it so much. He's
You're not in the loop.
Teddy's my spirit animal.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Enough chit chat. I'm sure Erin's very comfortable by now.
I'm always comfortable.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you're wearing pajamas.
What do you want to jump into?
Sabi, sponsor me.
Let's
You're gonna
get
get a
into
big
the, I want to talk about pajamas
Oh,
because
the
you were giving us a
jammies.
story about just before we hopped
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the...
Slay. I'm just gonna. Everyone needs to hear your beautiful voice.
I just licked the microphone. Whoever sits in this seat
That's my chair.
next, feel on it. Sorry.
It's my chair.
Did we tell her about like episode 2 or 3? He was just like straight up farting into those.
Do you want to play games?
Yeah. Erin's a mum. Don't do that. And all she eats is meat, so we don't do that. We don't do that here.
All right. So we're talking about the shirt.
I want to hear
Yes.
the jammies.
Can we,
it's not jammies. It's,
Just, yeah, if
So-
you, very carefully just so they can see.
I'll zoom in.
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. That's nice.
So
It's a pelican.
Wild.
it's a pink pelican. So everybody. So quick backstory on the brand. They're a husband and wife that he paints all the art.
Should I tag him?
Yes.
I'll
Yeah.
tag him.
So he paints all the art.
Free promo, damn.
And they have their own warehouses in China. So they do everything. So they look after the
This sounds very bad.
backtrack.
So they got a sweatshop in China.
Well, he owns it and it's all family run. So it's like, you know,
Right.
it comes
Yeah,
from
yeah,
a good
yeah.
place. Anyways, I've started following this brand since the day dot, but they've kind of just fucking blown up.
Yep.
But long story short, the flamingo, when flamingos have babies, they pretty much lose all their colour. They get like really pale. And if you Google it, you'll see it because it's like symbolic of like the mother pouring everything
Here's
to the
everything
babies. Yeah,
for you.
literally everything. And so when they kind of become like teenage flamingos, the mum starts getting like pinker and pinker and pinker because obviously she has more time to like give to
shit.
herself. Yeah. So
Wonder how old the teenage flamingos are.
I don't know, I haven't Googled it. That's actually a good idea, like how many years they spend
until
faded.
they get their.
Pink back. Yeah. So it's like a big movement within mums, like get my pink back kind of thing. So Sabi made these shirts and I can't remember what organisation they gave to, but they gave like a percentage of the money raised to this mother organisation. I'll have to Google it. But I did the maths on it, and it was a fucking fair bit of money they would have raised for
Because you said that was
stroking the ball.
you're wearing how much just in clothes?
Well, this shirt was $80 and the pants were $100.
What?
So
Jesus. What about the
I mean,
ears?
look,
How much
good,
you got hanging?
good cause.
So how much is hanging on the ears?
I don't know.
And
There's a lot.
that ring.
Look,
Let's
people
not
will mug me.
That's from Bali. We can tell. It's fine.
It's cheap
It's
shit.
fine, yeah.
Cheap shit.
Yeah, I want to, because obviously we're pretty big in the gym. Well, I'm not big in the gym. I like the gym.
Yes.
Look, it's
Small man in the gym. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah, small. You just got an fucking 5 extra large shirt on.
I do,
Makes
to
you
be
look
honest.
big.
It's fucking huge.
Comfort.
That's all I wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to dive into some of that stuff because Queen's done comps. She's done academy for the Popo
Prison.
So it wasn't 5-0.
No, I was
No.
a prison officer.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that. It's too gross.
So I started probably getting serious about the gym when I was getting married. That's kind of what
That
ticked
happens.
it all off. Yeah. And then my coach and I become like best mates.
Who was your coach?
Lauren.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you trained with Simone
Yes.
back
Yeah.
then.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yes, I've just. Anyways.
Yeah, now
Connected
you
the
get it.
dots.
Now you're
Clicked.
getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then I was training with that, and then I was training like I was training a lot every day.
You were.
Yeah. And
This
then
is before I was even going to the gym.
years before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Lauren was like, "Why don't you do a comp?" And I was like, "No. That shit's not for me. Like I have no interest in getting up on the stage in a fucking G-string. I just, props to the people that do, but and then my friend was like, "I might do it. We should do it." And then I was like, "Fuck it. I'll just train and do the prep, but like not necessarily get on stage.
Yeah.
I'll just
Yeah,
do it."
just do it because you can.
Yeah.
Push yourself.
Yeah, just see. And so we started doing it, prepping all of the things, and then I did end up getting on stage. But yeah, it was pretty hectic.
Looked amazing, by the way.
Thank you. And it was actually good talking about the prison because that was just before the prison. So then when I got accepted into the prison, I was fit as fuck to do all of the shit that I had to do. So yeah, that was in 2019. I comped and I did the
Damn, 5 years ago.
know.
That's fucking wild.
yeah.
I was still in school.
You still had fucking.
Bro, I graduated.
We won't say when I graduated. Yeah.
Dogs.
But yeah, and then I still gymmed quite heavily afterwards for a few years.
Because Jesse gymmed a lot.
Yeah. Jesse's kind of gone in and out of
Yeah.
gymming. Like he'll gym fucking hard.
Yeah.
And then he'll hurt himself or work will take over or
Yeah.
whatever and he'll kind of like come out of it.
Yeah, lean off it a little bit.
Yeah, play golf, play footy. And
Maybe
then
that's definitely where the booty comes from.
Jesse's booty.
Yeah.
I think it's just genetic. He's quite short, plump, little, compact. Yeah. In case anyone was wondering what my husband's ass looks like.
I'd eat it.
I wouldn't, but
I love Jesse so much.
have to get Jesse on here.
Can
you
That
imagine?
would be a fucking crazy episode. So I don't actually know the whole story. Did you actually get into the prison?
What do you mean? I was a prison officer.
You-
Yeah, I worked
so
as
you
it.
did?
Yeah,
It wasn't for long though, was it?
about a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I left because the prison officer's a pig.
Yeah,
It's pretty
I
much-
do remember, yes.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
just fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
cunts.
I don't really know how much I can say
Yeah.
in case someone decides to kick up a stink. But
Yeah.
if you're a female going into prison officer work,
Stuff like that.
Be prepared to fight
yeah.
some motherfuckers.
You know what's fucked though? You would assume that men that have been locked up for years, the prisoners, would give you a bit of,
Yeah.
which like not ideal, but whatever, you get it. You wouldn't assume that you get it from like married men that go home to their wives, and just a bit like, nothing ever happened, but it was just sleazy. And yeah, anyways. Flogs.
Dog cunts.
Flogs. But yeah, so I did all of that and then I did actually apply. So I applied to be I applied to be a prison officer and I didn't hear back. And then I thought, fuck it, I'll just apply to be a cop because like second best option. And I had tattoos then, but I wasn't as tattooed. Like I didn't have my face or my
Yeah,
throat.
because you can't have tattoos showing as a police officer.
Yeah, I didn't have my hands or anything. So, I did. I had my fingers. Anyways, I got an email back pretty much being like, we're not accepting you because of your tattoos. How's that? Like, I just think
Discrimination, I reckon.
it fucking is discrimination.
Go Queen, slay.
But
Let
it
it all
is,
out.
you know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah.
you were in a burning house and a cop rocked up, you wouldn't be like, oh, shit, you have hand tattoos. Don't help me. Do you know what I mean?
Don't hit me. Shit.
Like, anyways.
No, I don't. I think people with most, if not all, their body tattooed,
Yeah.
are the nicest people
They
in the
genuinely
fucking
are,
world.
though.
Yeah.
Do you know
They
what?
look
That's
scary as
also like
fuck.
Yeah.
most of the isn't the incarcerated people are kind of like
Yeah.
I
heavy-
did blend. I did blend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Do you know what's really annoying actually on the tattoo subject? I used to be avoided really badly, like in the shops and stuff. Like
mean, I
people
would-
would just
You
take
don't
a
look
wipe.
scary. Your hand tattoo's shit though.
Fucking don't trauma.
I know you
want
hate-
to talk about fucking trauma? No. But now that I have a baby and like she's so interactive, people don't give me a wide berth anymore. And some days I'm like, like how it's
They don't
changed.
give you what?
Well, like grannies and people would
Out
look at
across
me
the
and be
street.
like,
Yeah.
criminal.
Who
Whereas
would walk across the street from you?
I don't know. I feel like as well because I don't have very
I hate women.
I don't have very good vision. So if I'm trying to see something, I'm like,
You're giving him the stank eye. The fuck are you looking at?
Oh, God.
so I've noticed that like people are a lot more accepting of me now that I have a baby.
Right. You would think it would be opposite.
What?
Oh, you have a kid. What are you thinking about doing all the tattoos for?
Oh, I did have some lady have a crack at me once when I was pregnant about my tattoos. And I said to her as a piss take, I was like, I've actually been getting tattooed while I've been pregnant in hopes that like it will transfer to the child.
Oh,
Just to pull the piss. Because I was like, fuck off.
That's cool. That's cool.
Teddy's got to come out with a full sleeve.
Someone said that to me once. She came out quite bare. And I'm like,
I hate people that feel like they have to voice their opinion to you.
it just cracks me up. It cracks me up.
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's also like when people don't have like the backbone or the confidence to be like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
They go, like they get all like awkward and it hurts them internally. It
Yeah,
fucks with
if you
them
say
mentally.
it to the wrong person, it can really
Yeah.
impact someone.
Yeah.
Like, I would never walk up to someone and be like, your hair color is fucking awful. Or like, you have no tattoos and you look naked. Like, I would just
Yeah.
never.
Damn.
Do you know what I mean,
That's
though?
crazy.
Yeah,
Like, whereas,
I am exactly the same. I wouldn't judge anyone, even if they looked like fucking utter shit.
yeah.
Like, I mean, if I knew the person,
Yeah.
I'd be like, bro, come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
That's
always
not-
that.
Yeah, but that's completely
It's
different.
so different.
That's kind of being like constructive to a friend. Whereas if you just walk up to a random and you're like, wow, you look like shit. Who the fuck are you?
I would laugh and be like, thanks, man.
Yeah,
Like-
I'd probably be like, you have like 30 seconds to get away from me before I say something really mean.
Okay, I want to dive into some things that you've been through before. I want to ask how your birth was, not your birth, post-birth. Is
Yep.
post after? Before?
Post is after.
After.
Post.
Pre?
Pre.
Yep.
Pre-workout.
Pre, how you worked.
That's such a gym dude. How do I work this out?
Pre, post.
And we
Before,
do
after.
because it is Christmas. We have a
We do have a little
small
prezi
something for you.
For Teddy.
Just because we like it's Christmas.
stop.
And we know you're an expensive bench, so
So we tried to be expensive
tried
and
to
it
be
completely
expensive.
backfired. Yeah,
But-
it went very sideways.
Yeah,
I'll
we
have to
did.
video it,
did.
like giving it to her.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'll put it in a little clip.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be amazing. But yeah, I want to ask, how was the pregnancy before birth? Mm-hmm. How did you feel? Was everything going smoothly?
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling mentally? Mm-hmm. And then dive into what happened after.
All right. Well, I feel like I should just do a quick little,
Recap.
like a pre.
You're a gym person deep down too.
My roots are coming out. So Jesse and I decided that we wanted to have a baby.
How long ago was this? Just for a reference.
You've been trying for a while, haven't you?
No,
Before Teddy?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's just called having a good time.
So Teddy is nearly 15 months. And so I started, before I got pregnant with Teddy, it was a year before her. Do you need a moment? You want to take
I'm
a
good.
center stage?
No, I was right.
Fuck, you could do a clip of all my horrendous laughs put
In
together.
What are we going to put him in a fucking witch laugh competition?
Oh, yes.
So we decided we wanted to have a baby, right? Got pregnant that month. Like I didn't even have a, sorry, I'm going to say period and shit. People just get over it. We're adults here.
We spoke about contraception and a ring going upside. So
Okay, sweet.
Yep.
So I didn't even have a period, got pregnant straight away. Then I miscarriage. I found out and I miscarried probably like 10 days afterwards, which was pretty fucking shitty. It was very emotional. But at the same time, it was like I didn't know for that long. And it was kind of a bit of like a fucking wake-up call as to like, shit.
Did you know you were pregnant when you had the miscarriage? Because it was 10. Okay.
Yeah. So I found out and then like 10 days later,
Yeah.
I started having a bit of blood and
Yeah.
all of the things. So that was shit. And then I said to my doctor, do I need to wait or anything? And he's like, no, you're fine. Just keep doing what you were doing. So we did. Didn't have another period.
Keep fucking.
Yeah, keep raw dogging.
Bro comes in, he's like, back shots be crazy, huh? And Jesse's like, yeah.
He's like, yeah, I can know what to do here. So we got pregnant again straight away. Didn't have another period.
Yeah.
So that's a lot on your body, right?
That is.
Like unknowingly. But I was like, my doctor said it was fine.
Yeah.
So then I was pregnant for a while, went and had a scan, and they're doing the scan next minute 2.
Minute.
Yeah.
Oh, twins.
Yeah, twins, but they couldn't find a heartbeat. But it was at that awkward stage where
Yeah.
like they didn't know if it was like if they were too little to not see a heartbeat
Yeah.
or whether it was not okay. So they said, come back in 2 weeks and we'll do another scan. So that 2 weeks was pretty fucked. Like Jessie was very down the dumps. But I was like, no, just let's not overthink it because it could be too early. Like, let's
Yeah.
just not spiral. Went back, wasn't any heartbeats. So it was kind of like, where do we want to
From
go
both
from
of
here?
them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from both of them. So I went and seen a specialist and she was like, you can take a tablet that pretty much makes you have, it's like the tablet they give to people when they have abortions. So you
Yeah.
can have that tablet and it'll just get everything
Flush
out.
out, yeah.
Yeah. Or you can have a DNC. And I was like, I'd rather try the
DNC's
tablet.
pulling it.
So they just go in and vacuum it out,
Yeah, that's
pretty much.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't want to go under if I don't have to and all of the things.
Yeah.
So I took the tablet. This was on a Tuesday. Took the tablet and it sends you into labour. Like it's fucking painful.
right.
And like, even
Because
though
I guess it's got to push.
yeah, your body's
everything
just
out.
forcing
Yeah.
everything out. And even though I obviously wasn't birthing a big child,
yeah.
because I was still pushing 2 out, like it was fucking painful. Anyways, did that on the Tuesday. It's fine.
It's fine.
Like, you know, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, I've got through that
Yeah.
hurdle, like I've done it. And then I had a follow-up appointment with her on the Friday. But sorry, this is like, there probably should be a trigger warning here, but I've had an abortion before, so I know what it's like to pass
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
I knew that it hadn't worked. I was like, it's not worked.
Yeah.
So I went in on Friday and I said to her, it hasn't worked. And she's like, okay, well, where do you want to go from here? You can do another tablet or you can have a
Jesus.
DNC. And I
Yeah.
said to her, let's just do the DNC. I really don't want to put my body through this
Yeah.
again. Like at this point, it's, you know.
You go under, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we booked it for the Monday. This was the Friday. So I literally got in my car, came home, and I was standing at the bench cutting an orange. I remember it so vividly. Went to take a bite, and I just felt like, and I was like, fuck. Okay, it's coming out. You know what I mean? So I jumped in the shower because there was blood everywhere, and I'm showering, and it's just fucking coming and coming and coming, and I was like, okay, I think I'm going to need like Jesse home.
Yeah.
So I rang Jesse and I was like, then you better come home. This is about 4:30. And I was like, I can't wait for him to finish work and
Yeah.
come. So he gets in the car and comes. And then it's to the point where like I'm bleeding out. I bled. Sorry, this is so.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I might in the intro. I'll
Put a trigger warning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I bled through 3 puppy pads in 10 minutes, like through them. I literally just sat on the floor on puppy pads because I was like, I can't
Like
contain
dog
this. Yeah.
retraining things.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was getting like, fuck, what if I pass
Sorry,
out?
I'm not laughing.
No, but you like it's like you laugh because you're like, what?
I can imagine you. Not
Literally.
in like a just on your like hands and knees. Just-
Literally. And I just had blood everywhere. And then I
That's
was
fucked.
like, I was getting to the point where I was like, fuck, am I going to pass out? So I rang my my poor neighbour, Natasha, and she comes over. She is a birthing photographer, so she's used to seeing this sort of
Yeah.
shit. So she came
She
over.
walks in past out. Oh shit!
She was fine. She actually took photos of my whole birth with Teddy.
Oh.
I'll have to show you.
Yeah.
Anyways,
You would too, you parent. You just wanted to say
you
that.
will be seeing the C-section photos. So she sat with me. Anyways, I got in the shower again because I was trying to wash the shit off, and we were going to go to the emergency, but then something really big came out, and I was like, okay, cool. I think it's happened. Okay,
like
a huge thing came out, so I was like, that has to be the
thing.
babies.
Yeah.
Anyways, get to emergency. I literally have put a puppy pad in my underwear because that's how much I was still bleeding.
How big are they?
Puppy pads.
Yeah. God
I just fucking rolled that thing up and put it in there. What else are you going to do? You know?
Yeah.
Get to the hospital and they're making me sit there in a wheelchair, blood everywhere, all over the floor. Like, I felt still going. I felt so bad for like the kids in the waiting room.
Yeah.
And all that. Anyways,
They're
it's
all
a while.
traumatized.
I know.
Like,
I'm like, sorry to the mums. Like, and so I get through and
were you in pain?
not really.
So it was just kind of.
Just free flowing.
I guess that's good that you weren't in
my
pain.
body essentially went, fuck, I need to get these things out. Trying to get everything out, like hyperdrive. And it wasn't getting anywhere. They weren't coming out. So then, again, I passed something big. Because I wanted to get the baby sent away for testing because it was the second time that I'd had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
I wanted to know if there was something genetically wrong with us. So the lady said to me, catch them in like a sieve, a pasta sieve. So that big thing that came out at home, I caught it and put it in my fridge, right? Because I was like, I want to be tested.
Was it the baby?
No, it was a blood clot. I couldn't hold it in my hands. That's how fucked my body was. My body was peeking out so bad. It was literally overhanging my hands, a blood clot. I didn't even know they came that big. Yeah.
Like a meatball.
Bro, it was bigger. It looked like a fucking liver. But
You're speaking, it's so funny, you're speaking to two males.
I know. See, I'm sorry. I told you I'd be so
Oh,
unfiltered.
no, that's good.
But this is the shit. Like,
yeah.
and you know what pisses me off is when you're in high school, you're told, don't have sex, wrap the penis because you'll have a baby. You're not told this is the shit that can happen.
Yeah.
So when it's fucking happening and you didn't know, it's like, what?
Yeah.
I thought I was dying. So it happened again at the hospital. Something big came out, and she said to me, "Look, we're going to rush you in."
When
for
you
a
say
D&C."
something big, I thought it was like a little. Like,
No,
ball.
it was
Bro
like-
passed a fucking like. What's the
like an organ.
The Switzerland fucking meatball.
Yes. Yeah. Like
That's fucking Bro goes.
something I prepared earlier. So the lady, my specialist rushes in and she says to me, I'm just going to try and go in there and pull them out. So I'm on the table. She's literally just pulling all the stuff. Jesse's like,
Yeah.
what the
So
fuck?
Jessie was with you the whole time?
Yeah. And then she looked at me and she's like, look, I can't reach them. We're going to have to go in for a D&C. And I was like, whatever. So she rushes me in for the D&C, does a D&C, gets them out, sends them away for testing. I'm fine after that. My body was just trying to push them out and wouldn't stop bleeding until they were out.
So they still weren't out yet?
Still
you
weren't
passed
out.
blood clots?
Yeah, just passing blood clots. So the reason I had to tell that story was because then when we did get pregnant, we were like hyperdrive. Everything was so sensitive.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of that happens, sent away for testing. Nothing was wrong. It was just shit luck.
Yeah.
Shit luck. So then I wait a cycle to try and get pregnant. But at that point, I'm like, I don't even fucking want to do this anymore. Like, it's so,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
When there's that much work involved and
Yeah.
then you've also had 2 miscarriages.
Yeah. And like
It's-
the first time I got a little dog tag made for Hawk because he was our youngest dog that said like, big brother. So I did a fun little thing. And then the second time I fell pregnant, I made a little box and like, I told Jessie these fun little ways. And then by the time I was trying again and I just didn't it had lost its novelty.
Yeah.
So then the month had passed, we started trying again, but I think we had sex like 4 times that month because we were just both so fucking over it. And then I remember,
probably scared too. Like that would have traumatized.
it was scared. It was just so many emotions.
Yeah.
And because it all happened so quickly and because we hadn't told anyone because we didn't want anyone to know that we were trying to have a baby.
Just quickly, how did you go mentally after you lost all the blood, passed all the blood clots, you were in the hospital, you had the second abortion?
Yeah.
Were you mentally still strong or did that kind of fuck you up for a bit?
No, I think I still was. I think because of my upbringing and stuff, I'm very good at like pushing shit down and just being like, we're good. keep going.
Yeah.
Like, and it's almost like it doesn't happen to me.
Yeah.
So I think I was in that state. I remember when I woke up thinking, even though the babies were dead, I remember thinking it's so strange that they're just not there anymore.
Yeah.
Like I remember that thought passing
Yeah.
through my head. But at the same time, I was at a point where I was like, am I fucking dying? Like,
Yeah.
because I was bleeding so much.
That's fucked.
Yeah. So, yeah, then I found out I was pregnant. It was so funny because I had one more client for the day and I had to go and do a wee. And I don't know what, like the first 2 times I knew I was pregnant. I could tell I felt different. This time I didn't. But for some reason I peed on a stick and it came back positive. And I was like, what? Like a genuine surprise. And so I went and did my last client, who was a very good family friend of ours. And I remember sitting there the whole time being like, what the fuck? Anyways, I came back in. Jesse came home from golf and he's laying on the couch. And I literally just walked out with the stick and I was like, if there was no, because I was like, fucking here we go again. Like, you know.
Be prepared.
Yeah. Woo. And then, yeah, obviously Teddy stuck.
Yeah.
She stayed. So, yeah,
Teddy's so cute.
she is.
I love
She's
Teddy
a
so much.
fucking unit,
I
man.
held her, I think the first time that I saw her was at the shops.
Yeah.
And she fucking hates me. She hates my fucking guts. So.
So, okay, so my pregnancy was fine with Teddy, just for that. That was a nice little mental break. But I did have a lot of trauma from, like, every time she moved, I wrote it down in my notes.
Really?
Yep, I still
What did it just say? Kick, nudge? Kick,
Yep,
nudge,
it would say
nudge.
kick right
Left,
side,
right,
10:30.
left, up, down.
Yeah.
Bro was doing a
Resident
cheat
training.
code.
Literally, and I'd write big movement, small movement, because I would think,
Timestamps?
yep, I've still got it all in my phone for the whole fucking pregnancy. As soon as I started feeling her moving at 18 weeks, I fucking noted that shit down.
That's wild.
And you know what's crazy? I went in a few times because I thought I felt her not moving, and they'd be like, when did you last feel her moving? And I'd be like, 10:36, she moved on the right side, just under my ribs. Like, literally, that's how, because I was
Did
so...
they just give you the look of a bit of like,
No, I think they probably thought that, but they were like, no, that's fine.
that's normal.
And they'd go into the hallway and be like...
Yeah, I could imagine. Like, it's good though.
I mean, they probably get it more than you think, I reckon.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so...
Being cautious though.
Well, I just thought I'm not fucking taking any chances after the shit we've been through. But yeah, so then I got to 40 weeks and my blood pressure started getting a bit... So the doctor kind of said, I would have gone to 42 weeks because that's what they let you go to without being like, come on, we got to...
Yeah.
But he said to me, well, you know, probably schedule for an induction. And I was like, okay, whatever. And it was so funny because we were scheduled for a Monday and we were driving in and Jesse was like biting at the bit at this point. He was so excited. And my doctor rings me halfway into town and he's like, I've just had an emergency C-section. Would you mind?
I'm sorry.
There we go.
He
Sorry,
was
sorry.
waiting.
You've been waiting to say that.
I can see my
waiting for the
moment.
best. Waiting to come, you know? Best saliva.
So yeah, so we didn't get to do it that day and Jesse was pissed. He was so pissed. Anyway, so Friday comes around, we go in. So I went in at about 4 o'clock. They put these balloons in your gynae. So it's 2. There's a string and there's 2 balloons and they put one inside your cervix and one on the outside and they fill them with water. So basically, pretend there's like a bit of skin there. It puts pressure on your cervix and makes it open. So that's what they did to me. So I had that in. They put that in at about 5 o'clock the night before and I slept with that in. And when they were filling it, because the doctor kind of just fills it and he's like, is that uncomfortable? Is that uncomfortable? And
Does it feel good?
it's very strange. So he was doing it. And then I kind of said to him, okay, that's probably good. And he was like, Jesus Christ, he put 80 mils in each and apparently that's a lot. And I was kind of like, well, you may as well fucking put the pressure on. You know, we're not here to fuck spiders.
Yeah.
And then he said, you know, if it gets too painful, let me know and I'll let some out. And I was like, so fine. So you go back to your room and you just
so
sleep
fun.
there the night.
Yeah.
And I remember like a few hours later, I was like, like I could feel it, you know, it started to get a bit.
Yeah.
So I was up and I was cramping like it started the contractions, right? So I was up till about 12 o'clock at night and the midwife came in. She's like, do you want a painkiller so you can get some sleep? And I was like, yeah, man. And some women, it just falls out. And then obviously like you've opened up enough and that's great. So I woke up, it hadn't fallen out. So the plan was they'd come and get me, they'd take that out and break my waters and they start the Pitocin. So that's the drug. It's like an artificial version of what your body usually produces to... Has Michaela ever had an induction? Did she went into labour naturally? You should know this shit.
Yes, she did.
She definitely deserves one of these shirts for lack of information.
No, I think they broke her water for Oakley.
Yeah, okay. But was she on a
But
drip?
she did all of that natural. Oakley's one was natural.
No, but
drugs
this
or
is
nothing.
different. Okay,
No,
yeah.
She near on fought a nurse to get the epidural for Oakley's one, and they're like, "No, it's all good, man. Like, we're fucking hippies."
Oh, actually,
bro.
I remember that. Yeah.
She's like, "Give me the fucking thing."
Yeah, give me it
And then
now.
by the time that Oakley was out, I was like, "It's okay, babe. It's like she's out.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you." She's like, "Shut your
Rubbing the back.
shut your fucking mouth."
Do it from a distance. Out of reach, slightly.
Yeah. But yeah, I think they. I honestly can't. I was actually trying to think about all three of our births.
It would be a
and
lot
I
to
can't
remember. Yeah.
much of them.
No.
Well, it's
I just remember
spaced out.
seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember seeing Michaela's schmeat after all three of them. Not that I wanted to.
Look,
but
you want
it
to be
happened.
fucking careful about what you say here. I'll flip your chair.
No, I was like, because the first time I think I've said it, and I'll briefly touch on it, but I said the first time to Michaela, I was like, I don't want to look.
Jesse was the same.
I was like, it's just, I don't want to, it's going to ruin stuff for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking gross.
It's
as
an
well.
intense, it would be
Yeah.
an intense thing to see.
And she's like, yeah, I don't want you to look. I don't want pictures. I don't want nothing. Like,
Yeah.
ew, fuck that.
Yeah.
And then halfway through, she's like, oh, can you look? And I'm like, I don't.
See, I would want, like,
was
you're
like-
going to fucking look.
I was like, I don't want to. I really don't want to. And she's like, fucking look. And I was like, okay, I'll look. And this was after she tore.
Yeah.
Macy's head was out a little bit. Like
Yeah.
I could see her black hair.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And you were fucking young. Like, that's a big thing for you to look at a young
20,
age.
19,
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, oh yeah. Just, I know when I was like, yeah, it looks so pretty. And then I said to her, I was like,
My pub is burning down.
yeah. I was like, if I want any more kids, I'm not looking.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking look again. She's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then the next two, somehow, some motherfucker, I saw both of them.
Yeah.
The second time was the doctor was stitching her up because she tore again. And they brought that big light in and she's like,
Well, you would
fucking-
see it in a reflection.
It wasn't- It wasn't that reflection that I saw. The doctor had glasses on, and I looked at the doctor and then looked at the reflection. I'm like, you mother,
can't avoid
you prick. And then the same thing happened for the third one. I went to walk past and like, yeah, we're all covered up. And then as I walked past, they flicked a blanket. I'm like,
They're like, he will see this.
it's like you fucked my shit up 3 times now. But
I mean,
it is
you lived to tell the
yeah,
story.
birth is a beautiful thing, but it's fucking also disgusting.
If you talk to Jesse, he's like, birth is fucked.
It is.
Yeah. I feel like as a male, I feel like the males are very, or not even just males, birth partner, they're very forgotten about. Because, yeah, okay, you're not going through the brunt of it, but you're also sitting there seeing your person in fucking pain, and there's literally nothing
There's
you can
zero
do.
that we can do. That's
Yeah.
the thing that I remember
Words
the
of
most.
comfort and confirmation.
Yeah, that's
You are acknowledged.
yeah.
I feel your pain. No, you don't. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
That was so with Macy's birth. I will admit I wasn't really like there.
You were like 3 years old though, so
Yeah, I
You
was
know?
still a baby myself.
100%.
And I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't really want to be here. I don't
Yeah.
want to see. I don't want to touch.
Yeah.
And I'm freaking out,
Yeah.
having anxiety attacks because
Yeah.
I'm seeing her on her hands and knees screaming like a fucking lion because she's
Yep.
shitting out this fucking kid.
And poo probably.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then Macy's, I wasn't really there.
Yeah.
Piers, I was more there.
Yep.
I was Oakley's. Michaela was like, I fell in love with you again.
Yeah.
Because it was like, you knew what to do.
Yeah.
You were there. You were rubbing me. You
Yeah.
were touching me.
Yep.
You were like spiritually energy. And I
Yeah.
was like, shut the fuck up. Like, you
No,
want me
but
to
it
cook some
fucking
soap or
matters.
something?
It really does matter though.
Yeah.
Like,
And yeah, she was like, that was, even though it was the worst birth, it
Yeah.
was the best birth.
yes.
Because the connection that we had
Yep.
changed everything.
Yep.
I was
Yep.
like, yeah, I could have just sat on the couch and fallen asleep.
Some fuckers do though.
Yeah, I did.
Sorry, but
I,
like,
nerve.
who could do
I was
that?
one of them with Macy.
Yes, but I feel like, right?
She
What's
also
the
had
age
the
gap
epidural.
between you two?
Me and JP.
Yes.
10 years.
Right.
No, I was joking. Sorry.
I think
Yeah, that
it's
old.
like 3.
How old are you?
You're 25? 23.
Damn, I'm 22.
All right. So for
10
instance,
years.
right?
Close.
Well, nearly. So you as a 20-year-old and you as a 20-year-old, like the generations. I hate using this word. I hate it because it's got a bad like connotation or whatever the other word is around it. But like these generations are getting more fucking woke, right? They're getting more in touch with their feelings. And I know it sounds stupid, but if you were a 20-year-old back then, right, you didn't know what to do. But if you're a 20-year-old now and had a baby, I feel like you're just more aware. Like I have talked to 20-year-olds now and I'm like, you are more in touch with yourself than I am.
Yeah.
Like
They are, yeah.
they fucking are.
Unless
but at
it's
the same
JP.
time,
JP
unless
is
it's
not.
JP.
Let's make a fucking TikTok about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Shut
yeah.
up.
It's coming out. No, but seriously, do you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
no,
I
it
feel
is.
like,
Like-
our generation. Well, I'm
Yeah.
even a fair bit older than you.
Well, you're like 2 years older than me.
How old are you?
29. 1 year.
Okay, we're the same age. So I had the balloons put in, had them taken out in the morning. They broke my water. They started the Pitocin. And when you have an induction, it's not like your body's like, okay, we're going to start these contractions off nice and slow and they're going to get harder and harder. It's just fucking game on. So I started the Pitocin at probably about 7 o'clock in the morning. And I said to my birth people, I don't want, because you know how they check how dilated
Yeah,
you are?
they-
I said, yep. I was like, don't tell me how far along I am, because if I think I'm further than I am,
Yeah.
I don't want it
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
deflate me.
Yeah.
So I was labouring. Everything was fine. They checked me, didn't tell me. Everything was fine. Doctor came in at 12 o'clock. He checked me and was like, yep, cool. Everything's sweet. I'm happy with everything. Keep going. It got to 3 o'clock. And because I'd pretty much been in labour from 5 o'clock the night before, I was pretty fucking rooted by that. Like I was very tired. And it was getting to the point where I was like, if I have to push this child out, I actually don't think I'm going to have the oomph to do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm so tired.
Yeah.
So they were like, do you want to try the gas? Do you want to try any of that? And I was like, no, I don't drink, for reference. I hate the feeling of not being in control. So I
Yeah.
did have a suck of the gas once and I fucking hated it.
It's cool. It
was
fucked my color up.
shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking. So no, didn't want that. And then I was terrified of having an epidural. The thought of having that huge thing in my back,
In your spine.
I would rather feel the pain
Yeah.
of labour.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
also the side effects that can happen in the wrist. I just didn't
there
want
is.
it.
Yeah.
So they gave me a jab of morphine in my leg, which did shit. It just fucking hurt. And then it got to the point where they were like, do you want to try the epidural? And I was like, no, I don't. And Jesse looked at me and he's like, you are fucked. Like you're
Yeah.
so tired.
But the epidural, from experience, makes you worse. So it can make you worse, as in tiredness.
Yeah.
Because you just go,
Yeah. And I think as well, so the epidural makes your body relax, which can slow down
Yeah.
labour. So I had that in my head. I was like,
Yeah.
I haven't fucking come this far to.
Yeah.
Anyways, I ended up having it because I was like, I'm not going to be able to push this baby out.
Yeah.
So the guy comes in. You have to lean over a chair. They
Yeah.
put you in a chair and you're like hunchback.
while you're
right?
still giving birth.
Yeah, and you're not allowed to move.
Yeah.
So I'm hunchback. He's trying, jab, not fucking getting it. 8 times
Yeah.
he jabbed this fucking thing into my back. Couldn't get it. I'm hunched over this chair for an hour.
You would near on just sling a fucking elbow back and be
Bro,
like, fuck off.
I was so flat. I remember I was just like this. Like I'd just given, I have photos I should show you. I was so, my soul had left my body at that
Yeah.
point. And he's going, I'm sorry. And I feel like saying, I don't even care.
Do we need it, man? I'm
Yeah.
dead anyway.
And so he goes, I'm going to try once more, and if I can't do it, I'm going to get someone else to come in. Tried once more, bang, got it. And what I was really scared about an epidural was is sometimes they numb you and you literally can't move. And I
Yeah.
didn't want that. I
Yeah.
didn't want to, like, that scares me.
Yeah.
Whereas he did it just enough to edge the pain off. So I could still feel everything. I could have still got up and walked, but it was just a little bit of,
A bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that was probably about 4:30 by the time he actually fucking got it. And the nurses did say to me, even though he took a long time, that's actually the best epidural we've ever seen, like
Yeah.
because of the way he's done it. Anyways, the doctor comes in at 5 o'clock and he's like, look, so when I had the balloons out in the morning and everything, I had dilated to 4 centimetres. at 5 o'clock that afternoon, I hadn't fucking changed.
Oh,
And Teddy hadn't come down. She hadn't started descending. He couldn't touch her. So he's like, where do you want to go from here? And do you know what's so funny? When I got the epidural, I had this really big, it felt like I had a ball, like just sitting inside my gynae. And I was saying to the nurses, she's right there. She's right there. It's going to happen soon, you know?
I can feel
I can feel her. And then he checked and was like, no, she's not. Like,
that's just a gunner.
I don't know what it was, pressure. And so he said, I can let you go for another 10 hours. And if she doesn't come out in that time, it'll probably result in an emergency C-section.
Yeah.
Or we can do a C-section now. It'll all be very calm, blah, 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 blah. And so Jessie and I kind of sat there and I was fucking petrified of having a C-section. I was so scared. It's not natural to be laying on a table awake.
I want to ask, because I don't know too much about C-section, but
yeah.
Keep going with your story and I'll ask after.
Yeah. So but then I was weighing up my options. I was like, being rushed into that, I'm in a spiral. Like if it gets to the point, A, I don't want to put her in danger because that's a long time being in labour.
Yeah.
And B, I don't want it to be a rushed situation.
Yeah.
I know people that have had that done and it doesn't fucking end well.
Rushed C-section?
Yeah, being like, go. Like,
Yeah.
No. So I was like, okay, cool, we'll just do a C-section.
Yeah. So nice, calm.
Everything was calm. So I signed the papers. He explained to me. I asked some questions. And so when my sister had her C-section, she could feel them cutting into her. Yep, they didn't numb her properly. So then they knocked her out completely. So that's all I could think. I kept saying to them, please don't let me feel it. Please. So that's all I could think was, fuck. I'm going to, there is a risk of me feeling this. So I said that to my doctor. He's like, you'll be fine.
Knock me out, can't.
I was like, just please don't let me feel it. Like, that's all I just don't want to feel it. Yeah. So we got, so my doctor, my OB, he takes part in the C-sections, but he doesn't do the C-section. I think they need some sort of different qualification. So I had the best C-section lady in town come and do mine called Sarah Armitage. She's a fucking legend. So she comes in, introduced herself, and she's literally such a legend. Like she drives an old 80 series and she like surfs, like fucking just cool, you know? So we're walking, she's like, you're going to be fine. Like she's going to lunch. I'm like, the doctors are weird, right? The fact that you're just about to tsunami someone and you're just like, come on, babes, let's go.
It's so cool.
Yeah. So we went in, Jessie got gowned up, all of that. We go in and I'm still saying to the C-section, the anesthesiologist, I'm like, please don't let me feel this. Like that's all I was repeating.
Yeah.
Was just don't let me feel this. And because I had Natasha, my neighbour, come and photographer the whole, like she took photos of the whole thing. So she's getting gowned up and then we go in and they transfer you on to, and because they pump your drip. So when you have an epidural, you have it like all that shit taped to your back and there's like this little funnel and they pump shit into it. So they like pumped that shit full so I couldn't feel crap. Like moved me on the table and they're kind of like propping me up and they put the screen up and I'm just laying there and Jessie and I are talking and they're like, okay, cool. So we've already started. And I'm like, what? Like they've already cut me open.
The fact that you're laying there open.
I know.
Your gut's open.
I know.
That's I couldn't imagine, man.
It's like an out of body experience. So anyway,
you wouldn't know what to think, feel.
Well, it gave me confidence. I was like, okay, cool, they're already in.
Yeah,
I haven't felt it, you know.
Yeah.
And because same thing with the reflection, they have that big light, and I remember all just saying, please don't let me see what's going on in that. Yeah. And I remember I was like, when they brought Teddy over, because they're like, we're going to bring her over now, and they dropped the drape, and I was saying, please don't drop the drape too much, please don't. And so they're dropping it and I'm going, she's getting brought over. Anyway, so they've cut me open. And so from cut open to baby out, it's 5 minutes. It's really quick. So quick. And so did you know they cut, so they cut through 7 layers, right? But they cut you. And then I don't know what, I think it's when they get to your muscle, they actually pull it like apart. So one doctor stands on one side, one doctor stands on the other, and they literally pull your muscle.
It'd be fucking,
yeah.
It'd be tight. I thought they used clamps, like not clamps, sorry.
But to initially open it. So they said to me, you're just about to feel a bit of pressure. And so I'm laying there and I looked at Jessie and I was like, I hate this shit. I hate this, like surgery and stuff.
Yeah.
Next minute, I shit you not. This is me. Like they're pulling and I looked at Jessie and I was like, fucking hell. Like,
Could you feel it?
No, I couldn't feel anything, but I was legitimately shaking. Literally like, ooh. And then they're like, okay, she's out. Like, and cry from her. So they bring her over, and because we said to them, please don't tell her, because we didn't know what she was, please don't tell us what she is. Jessie wants to announce that.
Oh, yeah.
So they bring her over, and so when you have a C-section, they cut the cord, obviously, because they can't, but they leave it quite long so then the dad can still cut the cord.
Yeah.
So it's coming over, and the weight of the cord.
I can already say.
For reference, Jessie really wanted a girl. Really
He's like,
wanted
fuck me, he's hung.
No, well, it was pulling down that looked like a dick, right? So he's like trying to see what this baby is, and he reckons, and I'm pretty sure I fucking heard under his breath was, fuck, it's a boy. Because he didn't want a boy. He didn't want a boy. Anyways, next minute he kind of looks again and sees Gina, and he's like, it's a girl, it's a girl. Like so stoked, and then they literally just put her straight on my chest and sewing me up and stuff. And the sewing up takes like 45 minutes. Oh. So it's funny that they're out so quickly. But
the cut takes quick, and then the fixing takes longer.
Checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, a bit more to it.
Versus,
really.
oh shit, we better put all these little bits
And
back
they
together.
have to
What'd
sew
you
all
say,
the
7
layers.
layers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
You probably couldn't, like, after everything wore off and you were stitched up and everything was good, you probably couldn't, like, sit up or anything, could you?
No.
Yeah, for ages.
You got to roll to the side and like shimmy yourself up because you could bust your stitches.
Yeah.
And also like you have no fucking stomach muscles. They've just been all
exactly.
cut.
You've been cut open.
Yeah.
Abdomen.
Yeah. But there was so many people in the room, and it's really funny because my placenta got taken out and put on a table to the side, and my birth photographer is a freak. She like loves this shit. So she walked over to take a photo of it, and she reckons she's never seen it. She's been in a lot of births before. All of a sudden, my placenta's just sitting there chilling, and it just went and spat blood all over the room, everywhere. She's like, it was like a murder scene. And I was like, I didn't see any. It's funny, all the shit that goes on behind the scenes and you don't know any
To be
of
fair, you
it.
didn't really want to look, did you?
Yeah.
Well, I have a photo of my placenta.
Ew.
It's a really healthy one.
Ew.
Really healthy one. So I had my baby, had the C-section, got wheeled out. I was in hospital. Everything was beautiful when Teddy was born. Like, it was perfect.
Yep.
I was in hospital for 3 days because they like for you to stay a little bit when you've had a C-section. They wanted me to stay one more night, but I had the best midwife in the fucking world at regional. Like, she still is like a fairy godmother to me.
Yeah.
Love her. They were really busy there, and they're like, do you want to get moved to St. John's? And Jessie's like, yeah, go, you'll get a private room. So I did, got moved, and I had a fucking mental breakdown when I got there because I was like, Sam's not here. Like, I had a bit of a panic moment where I was like, fuck. And the lady that I met to start with, she was lovely, but she was very stern. And I remember just thinking, what the fuck did I do leaving Sam?
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be at that hospital. Like, I just wanted to go home. So I left a day early. Anyways, got home. It was a bit hectic, like trying to adjust. And because day 4 or night 4 is kind of when the baby wakes up, you would know all of this. And they're kind of like, wow, I'm not in my mum anymore.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? So that night, and it also being the first night I went home, Jessie and I didn't sleep, and we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And that's when Kayla actually came over, gave me some tips, and then it was good. Anyway, so, it was normal, hard having a newborn at home for like the first
Kayla, for
week.
reference, is our friend that is a nurse.
Midwife.
Midwife.
Yeah.
I should know. I've known her
She
for
was
like
a nurse,
decade.
but yeah.
Yeah.
So everything was fine. I was walking around pretty well, like considering that I just had a C-section.
Yeah.
Like, I was pretty mobile. But then I started getting like this pain in my lower right rib. And I was like, oh, that's a bit sore. Didn't think much of it. I
Yeah.
thought, I've probably pulled a muscle. Like, obviously I was getting
You
up
don't really
strangely.
think that it's anything.
No, I just thought you've pulled something because you've been trying to be gentle with the C-section. And it was kind of getting worse and worse. Didn't think anything of it till one day I was changing Teddy's nappy, and I literally couldn't stand up. Like, I was pretty much like bent like an L at my waist. Like, I literally couldn't get up. And I was like, this is strange. Still not thinking much of it.
I'm hunchback from that to down.
Literally, I was just like, I'm in a lot of pain. And Jessie was like, are you right? But like, obviously you're caring for the newborn. Your mind's gone off you.
Yeah.
So woke up the next morning and I actually couldn't stand up. And I said to Jessie, I think I have an appendicitis. Like, I think something's wrong. So I rang my mum. She came and picked me up. We went down to an emergency, felt all the things. And they're like, look, doesn't seem like an appendicitis, but we think you have gallstones. So this was on a Sunday, so they didn't have all their like scanny shit open. So they're like, come back tomorrow morning and we'll do a scan. And I was like, okay. Hobbled back home, like legit, like I couldn't walk. I was like hobbling. Went back the next day with mum. They scanned all my organs and they're like, you don't have gallstones. Your appendix looks okay. Like, we don't really know what's going on. And after that, like, I was white by this point. Like, I looked like I was dying. So then mum's like, fuck this, just ring your doctor. Like, because you know when you go to a hospital and you get this doctor that day, this doctor that day, no one talks. So I rang
communication between every cunt is stupid.
You know, I feel like there's some places in the hospital or like departments that are amazing, and then there's some that are just fucking lacking. Yeah. And I get resources and shit, but anyway, so I went to my doctor the next day, walked in, and he was like, you need to go for an MRI or whatever. You know, the one that you go in and they do the big...
Yeah.
What's that called?
One more time? Perfect.
Yeah, so he sent me straight down and it was emergency, one of those.
The wife's home.
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
There we go.
So yeah, went straight in for an MRI and they were like, all of your organs are inflamed.
What the fuck?
You have an appendicitis. And they're like, we're going to try and operate tonight. And at that point, I was like, sick. Just get it out of me. Cut it out so I can fucking go home and get this shit over and done with. And I'm scared of surgery. So for being in that state.
Yeah.
And then they came in and they're like, look, we're not going to be able to do it tonight. We'll do it first thing in the morning. And so I'm like sitting in emergency. I remember sitting in emergency. They didn't have a bed for me. So I'm literally in the hallway pumping with my boobs out. And I was in so much pain. Mum's like, Erin, you should probably. And I was like, I don't give a fuck if Henry over there can see my tit. Get over it. I've got a 10-day-old at home and she needs to eat. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You know?
Fuck you.
Yeah, sit down, brother. Don't even look at me. So
there's some dude in the corner just going.
Probably. So the next day, I'm in all fucked up. The next day they come in, wheel me in for my having my appendix out. So I wake up, and for a reference, I was a brow artist before I had maternity leave. Anyways, this nurse comes in and she's like, how are you feeling? And I was like, you have the best brows. Who does your brows? Like,
and she's like, this chick named Erin.
She did it actually get them done.
Anyway, so I go to recover. Like, I'm in recovery, and then I go to my room. I did wake up with a fucking drain in, which I was pissed off about because that scares me.
What's a drain?
Like, I literally had a tube hanging out of my stomach with a bag on it, and all this yucky stuff was coming out.
Oh.
So when you have organs removed and stuff, you obviously bleed. So they put these things on to drain the shit out.
Just drain all your shit.
Yuckies. Anyways, I'm in recovery, and the doctor comes in who did my surgery, and this team of like minions, there's like 10 of them. They've all got fucking notebooks and coats, white coats.
Oh.
Yeah, doctors. So he walks in and he goes, and he's this little Indian man, and he's like, sits on the end of the bed, and he's like, so it wasn't an appendicitis. And I was like, okay, still fucking none the wiser. Okay. And he goes, so when you do have abdomen surgery, they pump you full of gas so your belly's really big, and then they cut into your belly, and usually like there's this big dome that is your skin, and then everything's down below.
Yeah.
They cut me open, and all my intestines and everything was stuck to the lining of my stomach, so they couldn't, which was a fucking red flag. So he's digging around. So basically, my organs had all stuck together and shifted up into my rib cage, so they'd all moved. And so he had to clean all the pus that was sticking all my organs together out and move my organs back into place because I'd got this huge fucking infection that has never been seen in Geraldton before. So basically there's this little bug that lives on everybody's skin, right? And it just lives on your skin and that's what it does. But if it gets inside you, it's like fatal. And so that's what had happened to me. But they think it was somebody else's bug. It wasn't my own. So it happened during the C-section.
And scrubbed up and had all their shit.
Yeah,
properly.
or whether the tool was dirty or whatever. Something has happened. But it's not even necessarily the people that were doing the surgery. It could have been from anybody in the room. So he cleaned...
Jesse.
Well...
The dirty cunt.
Probably likely not him. But, you know... Anyway, so they're like, we've cleaned everything out. We've popped the drain in. He's like, we did take your appendix, even though it wasn't appendicitis, because he said all of my organs were inflamed. And he said, I just didn't want your appendix in a few days to turn into an appendicitis and then we have to go back in.
Smart move.
Yes, and kind of no. I'm kind of like, fucking, why don't you take my gallbladder then while you're in there? Did
Why
you
don't you
sell it
take
on the
my-
black market?
Why don't you take my liver to your
How
dog?
much people charge for appendix nowadays?
We should Google.
Probably nothing because it does nothing. I don't think.
And why are they selling them?
Yeah.
Tell me
yeah.
that. Tell me that.
We don't know if they're
Mic
selling.
drop. So I had this huge infection and they were kind of like, we don't really know. We're going to give you some antibiotics. We've sent it to the lab in Perth, the infectious disease lab. They pretty much grow the bug and then put different shit on it to see
Test it and
yeah,
shit,
how
yeah.
they can manage
Crazy.
it. So my baby's at home, Jesse's at home, Teddy's only 10 days old, and I'm in hospital. I was like, cool, I'll be out in a few days, right? No, it just keeps getting worse and worse, more infected, it's getting worse. They're putting more drugs in. And so I had a catheter in after surgery. So they left that in for like 12 hours and then they came in, they're like, we're going to take the catheter out, see if you can do a wee properly. So when you have a catheter in, you have to do like a wee test afterwards. So you have to do 3 wees and you have to wee out a certain amount. And then they do like a scan on you. It's not an ultrasound, but it kind of is similar. And they check how much wee you've got left in you and how much you weed out to check that your bladder's working properly.
Big piss.
Yeah. So I failed that, which was weird because I didn't after I had Teddy and had the catheter. So then they came back in that night and they're like, we're going to put the catheter back in overnight, let your bladder rest, and then we'll do this again in the morning. And I was like, okay, this is irritating, but okay, this is what it is. So they prop me up, get me Dax off, prop me up to put
Get me Dax
Get
off.
me Dax
Come
off.
on. That threw me off bad. Hey, drop me Dax. Hey, go in the fucking bed and we're all good.
Well, literally, she props me up. She's got the big light to put the catheter back in. I'm shitting myself because I'm like, you're going to put a tube in my tiny little wee hole. Like, I was scared it was going to hurt. Anyways, prepping me, and she goes, and so I'm laying there thinking, you should not be making that face when you're looking at my vagina. And she goes, I'll be back in a minute. So I'm laying there thinking, what the fuck? I didn't even know what I was thinking, but it wasn't good. And she comes back in with more nurses, shows them what's going on, and they're all, and I'm like, what the fuck?
You can't, bro. It's like it's
Gaslighting.
Yeah.
It's like gaslighting
Like,
someone,
somebody
but not
fucking say something.
but not saying anything.
And they go, okay,
Know
so
all
we
about that.
found a foreign object in your vagina. And you know what's really weird? I had my friend there earlier that day, and because I'd obviously had a catheter 10 days earlier, had it out, my vagina felt fine, right? Didn't feel anything. And I kept saying to my friend, my vagina feels weird. Like, it just felt weird. And she's like, oh, you've just had 2 catheters and a baby. Like, it's probably okay.
Yeah, and
that
you're
it
like,
feels-
yeah, true, fair enough.
Well, she goes, we found this foreign object.
And it's
We
Jesse
don't know
hanging
how.
out,
Jesse's up.
yeah.
We don't know how long it's been in there. So she goes and gets this huge big kit to remove said item. I still don't know what it is. And she
Still
goes,
to this day? Or,
no, I do
yeah.
now. But at that point, I was like,
Yeah.
what's happening? So she goes, this might hurt. Big deep breath. And whoom. And I'm like, what the like, you're fiddling with my giant. You know what I mean? Imagine saying to someone saying that to you about your willy. You're going to be like, what?
Tug. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd be fucking all kinds of wrong.
Oh. So she pulled it out and it was a cotton bud.
Starts so he's like, stop getting hard. Stop it.
Down, boy, down. So it was a cotton bud that they had. So when they put a catheter in that, I guess they pack stuff, I don't know, and then put the catheter in and then remove all the cotton buds.
Right, yeah.
They had put one in and not removed it. And look, I have a vagina. I don't know the anatomy of a vagina very well. There's a lot of nooks and crannies and weird places that I've probably never discovered and never will.
Yeah.
So it was in a place like that I wouldn't have found it, And so
It was
they
obviously small. Was it in your
No.
pee hole?
no, I think it was up behind it. Look, mate, the nurse came in and drew me a map of my vagina. I still don't understand.
Still trying to find treasure.
She's like, all right, so just yeah.
Left at
it
this.
was here.
Yeah. So, but you know what? The nurse said to me, oh, okay, that's not as bad as I thought. I thought that they had put packing internally in me during my surgery and
Yeah.
it had come out through my vagina and
Right.
she didn't know how long I was going to be pulling for. I felt like saying to her, you should have given me fucking more warning than
Take breath.
take a breath.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it had been in there for like nearly 24 hours, right? That could have got really infected and killed me.
Yeah.
And the lady said to me, if that had been on like a grandma, that would have been fatal.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like you lost an instrument in surgery. You know how they count their knives and their little scalpels and shit
Yeah.
afterwards? You should fucking count your cotton balls.
Yeah.
Shit happens, but.
But was
No,
it
like,
small?
I know it sucks, but
100%.
it's the worst bit is shit happens.
100%. But like the nurses were like, that could have got very hairy
Yeah.
really quickly. So,
Oh, we're not doctors.
yeah. So they put
How big was it though?
Just holding it.
Would you not have?
I brought it. This is it. No.
Would you not have felt it?
But remember how I was saying to my friend, my
had-
gynae feels weird.
But can
a
you
child
just?
and catheters
Yeah, but can you not go down there and be like, oh, what the
it
fuck
wasn't
is
in my. It wasn't.
available to grab.
Yeah.
Right.
Like she had to reach up with tweezers.
Ah.
Yeah. So it was in.
What in the fuck?
I don't know where it was. I would love to somebody.
You have a map.
It was on a
Had the
napkin.
map.
It was on a napkin. I didn't keep it.
You should have saved it. You should have saved it and put it on your dresser.
If there's any medical professionals out there and
That
you
has the
can
napkin
explain
drawing.
where that would have been located.
What the fuck?
Yep. So that was one fuck up. They put the catheter in, and it was just a little leg bag. You can get catheters with big bags or leg bags. So she put it on my leg, and she's like, "Go to sleep." So I went to sleep that night. Woke up in the morning, and they come and check the catheter every few hours to empty it, right? Yep. And in the morning, I'd woke up and there was just a little drizzle of wee in there. And I drink a shit ton of water.
Yeah.
And the lady said to me, "Oh, you haven't done much wheeze?" And I was like, like I've been drinking the same amount that I should, like I always do. And I pee a lot in the night because I do drink a lot of water. She goes, "I'm just going to change the catheter bag." No, sorry, it wasn't a leg bag. It was a big one. She said, "I'm just going to change the catheter to a leg bag so you can get up and walk around." She disconnected this bag, put a new one on, and it went filled up instantly like that. Like all this wee just came flooding out. And she was like, "Ooh." Clicked it off, put another one on, full again. Clicked it off, put another one on, half full.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, 2.5 litres of wee came out of me. And she goes, "Were you not
Full
in
of piss.
I was full of piss.
Sorry.
She's like, "Were you not in excruciating pain?" I couldn't feel. I have a very high pain tolerance, so
Yeah.
I literally couldn't feel it. So essentially what they'd done is they put a faulty bag on. My bladder had overfilled to 2.5 times its size, could have burst. So I had to have a catheter on. Well, I went in.
What in the fuck?
Yeah. And you know what's funny? It's not funny. What's interesting is it happened to 5 people when I was in hospital, 2 down in Bunbury and 2 more in Geraldton. So there was just like faulty bags. that
Faulty
had been,
bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it never should have happened because she was coming every 2 hours and she should have picked up, this chick should have peed more than
Yeah.
this in this amount of time
Yeah.
and changed the bag or looked into what was going on, and she didn't. So I had to go on to bladder rest. I had a catheter in for 2 weeks. They didn't know if my bladder was ever going to recover
Because it was so stretched.
because it was
Yeah.
fucked. Yeah, it was like a lackey band. You stretch it all the way out. You don't know if it's going to come back.
Yeah.
So I had a catheter in. I went home with a catheter in. I had it in for 2 weeks, had the bag on, and I was looking at having it for the rest of my life.
Now you can hold 5 litres of piss without going to the toilet. We're going to drive all the way around Australia. I'm not going to piss once.
Now I wee once a week.
Yeah. That's fucking crazy. And
Yeah.
obviously now it's stretched back.
Yeah, it went back.
Come
Yeah,
back.
because I had it in for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, and it just rested it. But I remember thinking, I'm going to be, because I was at 29 at that point, I was like, I'm 29 with a piss bag.
That's, yeah.
Sounds like you're going to a party with a bag of goon.
Australia. Oh, so yeah, that was not okay with me. And this infection's still running wild. Like, they're coming in and doing blood tests every day. I'm having injections because, like, blood thinners from, like Alicia
Yeah.
said, sitting still. My mental health was fucked.
I was about to ask, how did you go during that?
I was fucked. I was this is going to sound very privileged, but I feel like I've never had mental health problems. Ever.
I feel like I'm this is gonna sound fucked, but I feel like I dabble in I'm like, oh, a bit of anxiety,
Yeah.
oh, a little bit
Yeah.
of sadness, oh, but
Yeah.
majority of the time I'm good.
Yeah.
But it's also one of those things, it's like, I heard this thing from fucking Steve-O, Jacko.
Yeah.
He said,
Yes.
like, for alcoholism and alcoholics,
Yeah.
most of them don't realise anything until they get sober.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. That you
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Well, I
Crazy.
had counselling after all of this, and she kind of delved into my childhood shit, and I was like, okay, you've literally just pushed a lot of shit down, and you're sitting in your masculine so much because, like, to avoid feeling stuff, which is a whole nother kettle of fish. But like I've been pretty good with not dealing with bad mental health. But the only way I can put it is every single time those fucking doctors came in because I just sat there and I wasn't even crying. My eyes were just leaking constantly, 24/7. I just sat there with my eyes leaking, with drips out of me, fucking catheter, like.
Well, the amount of shit that you went through, it's surprising that you didn't go into like some kind of depression.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And the only way I can explain it is I felt like I was sitting in a white room, but the room was really long. And like I was at the end, and every time someone came in, I'd whoosh back because I didn't want anyone to come.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the only way I can explain it.
And like you didn't want to be touched. You didn't want to be. Yeah.
And I was like, and because these doctors were coming in and they weren't telling me anything constructive. So I got to the point where I was actually quite rude. And I said to them, I've got a 13-day-old baby at home. You guys are coming in. You're not telling me anything. You don't know what the fuck's going on. I've got a raging infection in my gut. You've taken my appendix.
Yeah.
I might not be able to wee.
Yeah.
And you're not giving me any constructive. What the fuck is going on?
Look, I wouldn't get. If that was me, I would probably be more rude.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, I couldn't. I was so.
Yeah.
Like, my best friend drove down from Perth because she doesn't mess around.
Yeah.
And she was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes, well, hold on.
I should have brought
For the
Teddy.
gift, I had to prepare this earlier. It is actually my hat. It's part of it. So this, now I have to put my backup on.
Good boy.
This is something we present to you.
For Teddy.
Well, it's in there.
But it's for you.
But yeah, and you open him up.
Move the fuck over.
So a bit of context. We
Yeah.
tried to find, because
I asked,
Simone.
and Simone said, get her a jelly cat.
Oh, cute.
And so
Yeah.
we tried, she gave me a list of shops. I went to.
I only know one shop, so.
And
Yeah.
we
Well, we
spoke
went
to
there.
that person, and it was like, Erin comes in here all the time.
Yeah.
The expensive bitch.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, I know.
I played smart. We had to
But
get
we
all the
don't have
info.
any.
And then,
Yeah.
So we couldn't get that. She goes, oh, well, this place does it. So we quickly zoomed to that place. Place is closed. Ladies had a wedding.
Yeah.
So
So then
back.
we had to.
Then we had to back up. You know?
JP thought us on the spot. It's small. It's very, very
Yeah.
small.
You didn't even need to get anything.
It's
But
Christmas.
it is-
started from just December.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Yeah,
All right,
just
am I
can't-
opening it?
Yeah.
You open it up and you
Am
grab
I
it.
going to be able to like redo this so then I can make her open it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I stealing this?
Yeah, you can have it.
Yeah.
Thomas is like, no.
I kind of like the hat. Yeah, we can.
get
It was like
No,
$2.
I'll bring it back.
Yeah, just
Maybe
open
you
it
can
up
put it
and
on-
then just show the people. Just be like, hey, look, they got me this.
Oh, no.
It's little stockings for
Oh, yeah.
Teddy.
And the bougie brand.
Yeah.
Bougie brand.
I mean,
Yeah, so we
they were
got-
$8.
No, but it's still, this is so cute. Oh, I love that you guys
Yeah.
thought this out. No, it's really nice.
And obviously
The
she
sizing's
can't
a bit
eat
wrong.
the candy canes.
I'll let her lick it, but she probably won't because it's not steak.
It's not me. She's like, this is shit.
If I move into a small house, it's because I can't afford my child's diet of meat.
Just give her protein shakes with your titty
Honestly,
milk.
all she eats is chops. I should just blend it all up. Do you know what? I'm going to try it. I could make.
Can I try a protein shake with your titty milk?
Yes. Do you know, have you seen the bodybuilders that buy milk off mothers? Have you
Do
seen
they?
that? Yeah, because it's the
I wonder what the macros are.
purest
have another
form
kid.
of
Yeah. I can't.
I will come back with a jug of my titty milk because
And
I have a lot. I have a freezer full.
protein shake.
Yeah.
I have tried titty milk before.
Yeah, it's very sweet taste.
Not out of my own will.
Titty?
No.
Did you suck it out of the titty?
No. So I asked Michaela to make me a coffee and she goes, yeah, cool, no
Actually,
worries.
I remember
Yeah.
this.
This was ages ago. And she's like, I'm going to fucking put titty milk in this cunt's
What did
coffee.
it taste like with the coffee?
I didn't notice
We obviously-
until the end.
Yeah.
Where I was like, there was like a little bit of it and I was like, is that milk? What the fuck?
Because it's kind of like, it's like high-low. It's not
Yeah.
like, it's a bit watery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the start, I didn't really notice it too much.
I should do one for Jessie because I've got heaps of milk and she won't take a bottle, so it's just sitting there.
You should do it.
Just stocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stock
But
milk.
yeah,
What are we at pricing
I'm
wise?
keen
Well,
to.
you can just have it dull.
I'm keen to have a fat protein shake with some tit milk.
Okay.
That'd be fire. I would love to know. I might Google the.
Can you actually look into it? Because there's bodybuilders that do. They pay women, breastfeeding mothers, they buy their milk off them.
I would love to know.
Bro, imagine that. You'd just be like, yeah, nah, fucking bought her titty milk with shit. Get him, man.
Well, it would taste different.
She's free range titty
range?
milk.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
get
you
that.
dairy
What are you gonna say?
free.
Okay.
Yeah, it's caged. I don't like that one. I don't like that one.
Oh shit! Mine would be like hermit milk because I just kind of stay.
Milk.
Thank you
Wicked,
for this.
absolutely amazing. Queen Erin, I hope you love the gift for little baby
I
Teddy,
did love
and
it.
hopefully when she gets older, she likes me.
She will.
And I can have cuddles.
She'll like you now.
She better.
I wouldn't.
She will. You wouldn't. It's not the attitude to have.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. But thank you so much for coming on the Interswept podcast.
Thank you for having me.
It is absolutely amazing.
I'll see you again next week.
It's gonna be fucking funny to edit this thing.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gonna take you a
It'd
while.
be good.
I'm pretty sure we almost have 2 hours worth of footage,
Yeah.
which is
I
the
keep
longest.
licking this.
Which is stop.
That's fine. That's fine.
But yes, yeah, I cannot wait. This is obviously the first one in December, so just stay tuned.
Merry Christmas. Have a Christmas.
Stay tuned. Stay
Christmas.
tuned on YouTube to watch the background because some things are coming.
Oh, yes.
And
sprucing.
if you want to send in your stories, send them to intersect.pod24@hotmail.com and follow us on all forms of social media at Intersect Pod or the Intersect
For most
Podcast.
common Instagram polls, there's a lot of stuff about next episodes and stuff we want to
Yep.
do. So, yeah, keep an eye
Yep.
out there.
So, thanks, Queen Erin.
Thank you. There's a bug on my mic.
Thank you.
Thank you.